Alright, so as you already know, GameInformer been milking Sonic Frontiers articles with minimal information spread across multiple different features. It's kind of like you've made the toast and you got like a tiny amount of butter left and you like, I got 2 slices of toast, I need to make this shit work. So you spreading the shit thin as fuck, just so that the whole toast is covered in butter. But you know damn well that if you had anticipated there was only a little bit of butter left, you would have bought some more. Of course, in this case, they can't get more information, so they're just gonna have to milk the articles they can. But I'm not about to be out here reading all these articles in full when I know they're just gonna repeat like 90% the same shit and then sprinkle in little tidbits. So we've got summaries of the article and we're gonna read through those and discuss, as well as an update on Sonic Origins that we need to talk about. So we're gonna get into all of this right now. But if you haven't subscribed to the channel already, please make sure to subscribe. We are trying to hit 100,000 subscribers and hopefully 7,000 subscribers before Sonic Frontiers comes out. So I'm not reading that combat and boss battles article because we know all that information already. So we're going to talk about the story article and then the recently posted skill tree article. So this summary is coming from Tails channel. It says here, in the new GameInformer article, writer Ian Flynn talked about his contributions to Sonic Frontiers storyline. And Flynn said, I'm a career Sonic nerd, so I wanted to weave some of these series legacy into the story. I wanted to advance the characters' personal stories, even if just by a little bit. I also wanted to bring some interconnectivity to the previous games. There ain't nothing that will be too dense for new fans to wade through, but just enough for long-term fans to appreciate. So what I gather from that is basically they're gonna have little details in the lore that appeal to long-term fans, but in a way that will not alienate the filthy casuals from being able to enjoy the story, which makes sense. Despite Sega calling the shots, Ian Flynn was still able to have major say in the overarching narrative. Daddy Quiche said it was during that time when he presented some ideas for bringing different characters into the story. Those familiar faces, Eggman, Amy, Tails, and Big, to name a few, were hand-selected by Sonic Team and then handed over to Flynn to further flesh out the characters and their arcs. While not everyone's favorite characters appear in Sonic Frontiers, Flynn hints that we might get deeper cuts mentioned. As you're running around, listening to what Sonic says to himself, he says, you might hear some names dropped that will surprise you. That's giving off the vibe that he's gonna mention some random comic book shit or some, I don't know, Sat.am shit. I don't know where it would go, to be honest. We had the development team think about how the different characters could get integrated into the new open zone format, which then prompted Ian Flynn to present even more new ideas to us, and through that cooperative back and forth, we settled on the characters that would appear in the game, said the director of the game, Kishimoto. Both director Mario Kishimoto and Ian Flynn reaffirmed Sonic Frontiers' serious tone, hoping to upstage the good versus bad guys dynamic. We needed something dramatic to set that serious tone and foreshadow things to ponder while playing the game, director said. On the surface, our story is something that could be easily enjoyed, but we also wanted to challenge ourselves to create a drama that would also be enjoyable if thought about at a deeper level. Flynn says it's about self-reflection and choosing how to move forward. And Sonic, being our Lord and Savior, is a positive reinforcement and the force for change that everyone needs. I hope everyone enjoys what we've put together. Now, this is giving off the Dark Knight vibes, and before you go, really, Sonic, the Dark Knight? Of course it's not gonna be on the level of the Dark Knight. I just mean what they're claiming they're doing, which is essentially having the simple story of good versus bad on the surface, but when you go deeper into it, they're really challenging your idea of what good versus bad is, with like Harvey Dent and his descent and the back and forth between Batman and the Joker. Like, the levels of detail. A story that's supposed to make you think and not be as simple as, hey, we are the good guys, hey, they are the bad guys. Good guys defeat bad guys, we root for good guys, we don't root for bad guys. They want some extra layers to the shit. Whether they deliver, I don't know, but that's what they're saying, right? Something that could be easily enjoyed so the casuals or the younger viewers can just enjoy it for the action and the dialogue or whatever, but then those who are a bit older will be like looking at the deeper meanings and shit, right? And honestly, I really hope Ian Flynn delivers, because this is his first major Sonic story, like, for the games, and I want to see him do well, right? I mean, not like his competition is much. I mean, Sonic stories have never been the greatest, right? And especially with the meta era. Like, come on, like, you ain't got much work to do, right? Like, most people probably say the best Sonic story is SA2. I think SA1's story was better, but SA2 did have the better quotables, I guess. If you combine the surface level quotables of SA2 with the plot of SA1, to me, that's like peak Sonic story. Combined with the ending of Heroes, of course. Now we're gonna talk about the skill tree article from GameInformer, of course, the summarized version from Tails channel, because again, I'm not reading that whole fucking article when they're just rambling about shit we already know, sprinkling in little bits of tidbits. Psyloop seems like the foundational skill for Sonic in Frontiers, but it's far from the only upgrade he can access through the skill tree. Once Psyloop is unlocked, Sonic can unlock 11 additional skills as part of the main tree, plus 3 additional skills through mainline story progression. That's like a total of 15 skills, including the side loop. There are many games out there with their own unique combat systems, but for this title, we wanted to focus on what a Sonic style of fighting would be, what sort of enemies should exist, what skills Sonic should have to defeat them, and so forth. We are not making a Sonic game where the combat and fighting is the core fun element. Rather, we want to present a game that has a fun combat that suits Sonic's character. That's the fundamental idea. It's a bit confusing of a statement. So you don't want the combat and fighting to be the main attraction in terms of the fun, but you want it to have fun combat that suits Sonic's character. I mean, okay, fine. I guess that makes sense, right? It's not the main feature, but it's still good, I guess. I guess they don't want to call it the main feature because then it's going to be compared to other combat heavy games like Devil May Cry, in which it will pale in comparison. So by saying it's just one of the things you can do, then we don't focus on it as much, right? The only problem is the thing that it's supposed to be focusing on, like, you know, platforming, they ain't doing properly so far from what we've seen. I ain't seen any super engaging platforming yet. In all the footage we've seen, all of the platforming looks basic. So if that's your main attraction, then you failed at that. Based on what I've seen, obviously there could be some good platforming in that I haven't seen yet. I'm just saying. I don't want to use the M word before people get mad at me again, but that would have been the thing that would have made Frontiers stand out, given that the combat is not going to be better than games focused on combat, the exploration is not going to be better than games focused on exploration, and the story is not going to be better than games that are focused on story, if we're talking like AAA open world games focused on story, obviously. That would have been the one thing that they would have owned, right? But again, Kishimoto has never been the best when it came to like great platforming, right? So the best we can hope for is decent. So we already know about the side loop, but then they mentioned Sonic Boom, which is the move that shoots projectile blades. We saw that in the early footage. Speed Burst, which increases your power when you have max combo, and Air Tricks, the ability to showboat midair to earn progress towards skill points. So basically the trick system. Then you've got Wild Crash, a move where you run in a zigzag pattern towards enemies to attack, and the Stomp, which we know what the Stomp is. From there you can unlock several different skills, including Auto Combo, an ability where battle skills automatically activate during combos. If you unlock this one and don't like the autopilot nature, you can toggle it on and off in the options menu. Thank you. There's also Quick Side Loop, the ability for Sonic to automatically draw his side loop circles. So basically Blue Tornado. Attack where Sonic launches a volley of energy spheres at an enemy, which is giving me Time Eater flashbacks. That looks like a homing show. Oh, Ian Flynn better have a line about that in there. I'm sorry, you gotta have one line about that in there. You got Spin Slash, a move where Sonic surrounds an enemy with a multi-hit spinning attack. And then Loop Kick, a looping, rapidly accelerating kick in mid-air. I think we saw that one as well. The final unlock in the main skill tree is Recovery Smash, where if you're blown away by an attack and successfully execute certain prompts before you hit the ground, you can immediately counter attack. That's giving that QTE. Sound like a QTE. The moves sound pretty solid if you ask me, I'm not gonna lie. Anyway, on to Sonic Origins. As you already know, I made a video talking about Stealth and his tweet thread, talking about the issues they had with development and how they were crunched and they didn't get to finish the way they wanted to, and they wanted to go back and patch things and they were waiting on a response from Sega. But it seems like they got a response because someone asked Katie what was going on with Origins, and she said thanks for the patience, the team's been listening and is working on fixing a variety of issues right now. We'll make sure to get some more official messaging out once we have more info for everyone. So it means they're going to be patching Origins. How far they go with the patching, I don't know. I mean, they're already busy posting accolades trailers for Origins, so they're already enjoying tooting their own horn. They use the GameInformer quote where it says best official way to experience Sonic's heyday, which it's just so funny to me because they're using that as like some accoladical quote when it's like, by saying best official way to experience it, you're kind of admitting that there is a better way, it's just not official, so we can't include that, right? It must be shocking to the filthy casuals that there's a way to play Sonic 2 without Tails dicking around and jumping and spin dashing all over the place. They probably just thought Tails was that incompetent anyway. But yeah, that's gonna wrap it up for this news. 2 whole articles on Frontiers as well as something on Sonic Origins, and the video's still not even that long because again, so much rambling in these articles, I can't be bothered anymore. Like seriously, I'm missing the June shit, and the June shit was pretty mid as well, but it was way better than this. Like come on, at least we were getting videos and shit, like you know what I mean? Like we don't have to sit there and reading these long ass articles, you're repeating the same shit over and over again. Like come on, get to the fucking point. The information you had was enough for 1 article, not 5 articles. Stop taking the last piece of butter and trying to spread it across 5 different pieces of toast. This is a 1 sliced thing, okay? What I really want to just see is the cyberspace gameplay. Are you guys looking forward to seeing cyberspace and more footage of the game? Maybe another environment? Hopefully there's a city island, because I mean, if there's no city themed island, they're slacking, I'm sorry. And of course, a big shout out to all my channel members. If you want to become a channel member, you can click the join button next to the subscribe button. But yeah, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit that well, make sure to check out the non-Sonic channel. The link will be in the description. But that's all I have to say right now. So, Premy out.